All right, here we go. Let's try this again. Aloha, shalom. So I'm out in nature. I'm hoping the connection will be all right. So I wanted to talk about the connection between archetypal awareness and the 4 agreements. In this private group on Facebook called The Royal Path, I often decline posts that are nice posts, but the intention of this group is very specific. We're here to share things that are going to directly help to elevate the consciousness of the collective. So I love astrology, numerology, all that stuff, but I want to keep the focus of this group on archetypal awareness. So archetypal astrology, archetypal numerology, when we make it archetypal, it elevates that message to a timeless place that makes it relatable across time and space. That's my wish for this group. And I know that a lot of you are familiar with the book, The 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. And this is an awesome book. It's a super popular book. It's a bestseller, and it's known by so many people across the world. And I think it's a fantastic book. I actually have a list of the 4 agreements posted up on my son's wall. I think it's such a nice, simple way to keep yourself in check. You know, anybody can do it, any age. Anybody from any walk of life can understand the message of this book. The 4 agreements are: don't take things personally, don't make assumptions, always do your best, and be impeccable with your word. I want to connect this to archetypal awareness because I want you to see how moving from this place of archetypal awareness and archetypal communication helps to put the 4 agreements into practice in a way that is sustainable and fun and easy. So what do I mean by archetypal awareness? If you took all of the different archetypes, you could categorize them into two groups, just two. You can simplify it down to the 2 forces of polarity which exist at the foundation of all of life. These are the forces of masculinity and femininity, or the force active and receptive. These are the forces that make up all of the other archetypes. So you can narrow it down just to those. And we are here to be a vessel for the unification and the harmony of these polar forces within us. We are here to be that vessel for them to safely merge inside of our hearts and our minds, right? And everybody's here on this same mission. We're all just doing it in our own way. There you guys are. Thanks for bearing with me. So everybody's here on this same mission of unifying these polarities and bringing harmony to these polar opposite forces, equal and opposite forces. How does that relate to the 4 words? Look at one of them, for example. Don't take things personally. Well, if we remember the archetypal story of the separation of these forces and then their reunion, we can't personally. Because we remember, first of all, that we're all here on this same mission, so we have to have compassion and hold space for each other as we stumble along the path. And we understand through archetypal awareness that nothing is ever personal, that we're all speaking from this place of collective wounds. So for example, instead of getting caught up in the material entanglement of an argument that I might have with someone I love, I can quiet my mind and bring my awareness back to the underlying archetypal story that has been playing itself out from the beginning of time. And this helps me to immediately activate that place of compassion within myself, to be able to understand that this isn't personal, what's happening here. In fact, this is an opportunity for us to heal a very old wound, an ancestral wound. Any separation is an opportunity for reunification. Let's look at another agreement and see how archetypal awareness is a helpful tool. Don't make assumptions. When we make assumptions about someone, we're not giving them the chance, or make an assumption about something or someone, we're not giving life a chance to respond to us in the best way possible. We're putting that person or that situation in a box by making assumptions. We're closing up what could have otherwise been many opportunities for healing, for harmony of those equal but opposite forces that exist behind all things. Let's look at another one. Here's a third example. Always do your best. It's all or nothing. Go big or go home. We are here to do things with our fullest presence, with our fullest awareness, and with our fullest confidence. If we don't have that fullest confidence, we're not putting our best foot forward. We're here to marry these opposite forces, right? Of the masculine and the feminine, or the logic and intuition, so that we can make decisions based on the of these two, and then act fully with all of our awareness, knowing that we are moving in the right direction. So if we don't do our best, we're not fully activating our mission to be here with the intention of unifying these forces of polarity, or these original archetypes. We have to do our best. If we're really here on that mission, then we should be fully here now. I'm literally holding this phone up in a tree here on a cliff so I can continue this message, because it's important. And for some reason, the virtual reality does not want me to get this out, but I will complete it. So there's only one agreement left, and that is be impeccable with your word. And if we're considering that we're all here on this same mission to heal the separation of these forces that exist within us, then we must be impeccable with our word. We must make sure that we're choosing our words wisely, because everything we think, everything we say, is reflected back to us. So first of all, our observer self is taking in all that we're thinking, all that we're saying, and it's forming beliefs. It's forming belief systems. And what's more is, because we share this world, whatever we say is affecting the belief systems of everyone around us. So we must be impeccable with our word in consideration of this archetypal plan, this plan to understand the true story behind the unfolding of our lives. We must be impeccable with our word if we have the specific aim to unify these forces as they exist inside of us and within each other. If I have a clear definition of the archetypes as they exist within me, then I know where I'm transmitting to you from. And if I can see those same forces inside of you, then I can be aware of the archetypal communication that's happening. This helps me to not take things personally. This helps me to not make assumptions. Of course not. This helps me to do my best, because I know why I'm here, and my mission is activated when I think in archetypal terms, when I think of the story of creation and why we're really here. And I know I have to be impeccable with my word, because of course that's required when we're here to heal this separation and bring unification. So when we understand the archetypes, right, archetypal awareness, we remember our original story, the story that's been told since the beginning of time, the cyclical story, the circle of life story that keeps repeating itself, which, by the way, is represented by the tarot. By just the major arcanum alone, this is a circle, a cyclical story, a wheel. Tarot, rota means rotate, turn. It's a turning story. Torah, tarot, rota, orat means to tell. So we're here telling through our entire expression, not just our voice, but through our entire being, this story that's been told from the beginning of time. When we remember this, we activate our remembrance of this archetypal story underlying all things, then we can really get our shit together. Then we can really start to communicate with one another from a place of true understanding and compassion. It's like effortless at this point. You don't need to, be a prophet or activate some sort of superpowers. Like, this is within you waiting to be activated, this awareness. When you tap into that awareness, everything changes. Your communications, your relationships, everything changes when you shift your focus. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this little message. connecting the 4 agreements to archetypal awareness, and I hope that it also helped you to understand the aim of this group and what we're really here to do. This is where I am right now, you guys. This is where we are together right now. Thanks for tuning in. If you didn't see today's activation, it's the weekly archetypal activation, and you can find it in our group. You can find it on my Facebook wall, Rebecca Magic.